In our last video, we have covered the fundamentals of generative AI, like the architecture of generative AI, how it works, how it generates contents, etc. In this video, we will be covering OpenAI. So if you have not watched our last video, I will request you to please go back and watch that video first. Okay, because then it will be easier for you to understand this video. I will be giving the link of my last video in the description box. Hi, this is Sovan. I welcome you all to my channel P2P Learning. So let's get started. So let us understand what is OpenAI. So OpenAI is a company. The company name is OpenAI. Okay. Now this OpenAI company has built multiple generative AI models and they have made this model available through APIs to the end user. So me, you, everybody can use these generative AI models which has been created by OpenAI using their APIs. Okay. So this model they have hosted in their own cloud, OpenAI cloud. Okay. So these models you cannot host in your private network. These are hosted in their OpenAI cloud. Okay. So if you want to use those models, you need to use their APIs. So they have provided the APIs that you can use. So they have provided APIs for their different generative AI models. Now, Microsoft has a major stake in OpenAI and they have a very good partnership with them. So what Microsoft has done, they have hosted these OpenAI models in Azure as well. So these two are two different things. OpenAI has their own set of APIs. Microsoft has hosted the OpenAI models in their Azure and they have published a different set of APIs. So this OpenAI hosted generative AI models and this Microsoft Azure hosted generative AI models are having different endpoints, different APIs. The models are same, the functionality capability wise they are same. There are a little change in terms of the non-functional requirements that I will cover, but in terms of accessing these two models, you need to, you need to decide like which model you want to access, and based on that you need to use that particular APIs. So using OpenAI hosted generative AI model, you cannot access the Azure OpenAI models and the vice versa. Okay. Hope I have clarified this. If you have not understood this one, just go back and watch it again. I think that will clarify your doubts. So OpenAI has three basic generative AI models. The first one is called GPT. Okay, so GPT has different version like GPT-2, GPT-3, GPT-3.5, GPT-3.5 Turbo, and the latest one is GPT-4. Okay, so what this GPT model does? So this GPT model actually accepts text as an input and it generates text as an output. So text input, text output. For this, if you want to give a text input and if you want to generate a text output, then we need to use GPT model. So like if you want to give a text input and if you want to summarize and generate one text output, GPT is the model. Similarly, if you want to do sentiment analysis of a text, so if you provide a text as an input and if you want to do the sentiment analysis of the text, then GPT is the model. So anything, in any solution, if you want to give a text input and want to generate a text output, then GPT is the model you need to use. Now, which version of GPT you would be using? Currently, as of today, the recommendation is GPT 3.5 Turbo, or if you have access to GPT-4, then you can also use GPT-4. GPT-4, you need to ask for the access. If they are providing the access, you can use it. But GPT 3.5 Turbo is a stable version now and available to all the publics. Okay. So that is the version we use for solution, GPT 3.5 Turbo as of now. You can also use GPT-4. Okay. Now, there is a sub version called ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is built on GPT only, but it is a special solution or a special model built for conversation like solution. So conversation like solution means chat, where you need to keep the context and based on the context you need to provide the answer. Okay. So chat kind of thing. So if you want to develop any chat solutions, then ChatGPT is the right solution to use, the right model to use. Okay. Now, what are the basic difference of different version of GPT models? The basic difference are the in terms of quality of output they are producing, in terms of their capability, what kind of functionality they support, and in terms of the prompt length. Okay, so the token limit, I'll come to that. So token limit means, so you need to provide an input, and based on that this GPT will generate an output, right? So if you are giving an input, that means you are putting some character, because in GPT I have told you, you can give text input and you will get text output. So that means the text input will have a length and the text output will also have a length. Combine this length, if you add this up, this input and output text length, then this length has a limitation on each of the GPT version. Okay, so generally up to 3 GPT 3, the length, this prompt version or this entire length, maximum length limit was 2000 tokens, almost 2000 tokens. Okay, from GPT 3.5 text Da Vinci 003, the token limit was 4000, and from GPT 3.5 turbo, in GPT 3.5 turbo the token limit is 4000 and 16,000 tokens. Yes, so that means combining your input, prompt and output, the entire length of the text, combining input, prompt and output, it should not exceed 4000 tokens for GPT 3.5 turbo. Okay, for GPT 4 it is maximum. There are two variation of GPT 4 in terms of length. One is 8000 tokens, one supports 32,000 tokens. Okay, so this is the token limits. So you need to, whenever you are designing a solution, you need to keep in mind, when you are passing the parameters and you are generating a response, these two combined should not exceed the token limits of this particular model. This is very crucial. If it exceeds, it will not generate answer, or it will generate incomplete answer. Okay, so that is one of the difference between all of the models. Okay, and they're very crucial when you are designing the solution. Okay, now the second model, the second generative AI model of OpenAI is called Dall-e 2. Dall-e 2 accepts text and image both together as an input. You can either put a text only, or you can put a text and an image together as an input. Dall-e 2 will generate an image as an output. So the output of Dall-e 2 is always an image. Okay, so if you want to create one image, you need to use Dall-e 2. So 2 is the version, Dall-e version 2. Okay, so if you are providing a prompt, a text to Dall-e 2 model, then the prompt length should not be more than 400 characters. The maximum limit of prompt is 400 characters. Okay, that is Dall-e 2. The third generative AI model of OpenAI is called Whisper. So Whisper takes audio as an input. So you can file an audio file as an input to Whisper, and based on that audio file, it will convert this audio into text. So it is kind of audio to text model. It will just convert it to text, nothing else. It cannot do anything else. Okay, and the maximum file size you can upload as an input to Whisper is 25 MB. Okay, 25 MB equivalent file you can upload maximum in Whisper, and it will convert it into text, and it will give you the text of that audio. Now you can put that text in the GPT model and you can do all the processing, you can generate some things. Okay, so, but in Whisper, text to audio is not possible. It's only audio to text. If you want to generate text to audio, Whisper is not the model. You can use some other model, but Whisper is not the model. So that is the restriction of Whisper. Okay, so these are the three basic generative AI models that OpenAI provides, and for each of these models it provides the corresponding APIs. Okay, you can access those APIs and you can utilize it from your program, and you can do whatever you want based on your business logic. Okay, now you know that OpenAI is trained on publicly available data, but the data cutoff date is September 2021, means OpenAI doesn't have any data after September 2021. So what if you want to access a latest data, or OpenAI has publicly available data. I mentioned that OpenAI is trained on, generative AI models are trained on publicly available data, right? So if you want to use your personal data, like your enterprise data, your customers data, okay, or your own personal data, your employees data, if you want to use, that is not there in OpenAI generative AI models, because OpenAI did not have the access to your personal or restricted data, right? But if you want to create an enterprise specific solution where you want to integrate your personal data, then how can you do that? So for that, OpenAI provides two mechanisms. One is embedding and one is fine tuning. And for both, it provides two APIs. Using those APIs, you can actually do embeddings and you can actually do fine tuning on your desired data, which might be restricted, which might be the latest data. So you can take those data, you can train the model, or you can create embedding files, and from there you can generate your text answer or your outputs. Okay, basically. Now, how this embedding and fine tune works, what is the difference, we'll cover in a different video. Otherwise, this video will become very long. So for now, I think I have covered the entire structure of OpenAI. You should understand this structure, the different models, their capability, because at the end of the day, with these models, we are going to design a solution for our customer based on the business need. So we should know which model to use for what kind of problem statement. Okay, that is the reason I've just started with a basic, and then in our later video, we'll also do some solution designing. We'll take some problem statement, we'll do the solution designing, okay, accordingly, and we'll see how using OpenAI we can design a solution and how it looks like. Till then, I'll say you bye.